In the middle of all this, the Democratic frontrunner, Joe Biden, said something at a fundraiser last night that is, I'm going to call it insensitive. It's much worse than that. I don't know what to call it except stupid. He said, I was in the caucus with James O. Eastland. He never called me boy. He always called me son. Mr. Biden then brought up a deceased Georgia senator, a guy like Herman Talmadge, one of the meanest guys I ever knew. You go down the list of all these guys. Well, guess what? At least there was some civility. We got things done. Those were two racist members of the United States Senate. Why?
Joe Biden is trying to make the argument that, people can work with those that they disagree. But I'm told by a couple advisors to the former vice president that he's been urged and asked and cautioned and warned to not use these segregationist senators as examples. It adds to the already sort of high burden he's trying to make to modernize himself, if you will, and then using the word boy. He normally doesn't use that word. He's trying to say that, look, I wasn't given the respect as a senator. He was a white United States senator. He, the fact that James Eastland, a noted racist, called him a boy, okay, that's insensitive.
Yeah, that means you have to remember that you can get in real trouble trying to go back and reference older senators. That's what lost Trent Lott his Senate majority seat when he tried to praise Strom Thurmond at the Capitol. So Joe Biden has to be really careful about his memories. If he wants to bring this stuff up, it can cost him a lot.
We'll see if he wants to clean it up as he's dealing with some blowback and some deserved blowback, among it the New York City mayor, Bill de Blasio, one of the candidates for president. It's 2019, and Joe Biden is longing for the good old days of civility typified by James Eastland. Eastland thought my multiracial family should be illegal and that whites were entitled to, I'll let you read the rest of the tweet because I'm not going to say it on television, but it's violent acts against African Americans. We'll see if the former vice president has second thoughts about this one. Up next, the president's re-election campaign sounding very familiar.
When you're on top, you take the heat. And Joe Biden is drawing a lot of fire tonight for touting his past work with two segregationist senators. Critics, literally his own opponents, want him to apologize. Based on what the Veep just said, they shouldn't hold their breath.
Are you going to apologize? Like Cory Booker
apologize for what?
Cory Booker's called for it.
Cory should apologize. He knows better. There's not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career. Period.
Let's use that as the start of tonight's great debate. Cenk Uygur, Kayleigh McEnany, great to have you both here. Cenk, do you buy Biden's pushback? Don't be telling me I have problems with civil rights. I've been fighting this fight from the beginning. I said that I remember the civility of working with these guys, that I could work with them, not that I like them. Is that enough?
No, it's not. I think that Joe Biden has a real problem here. He keeps saying that he liked working with segregationists, not just on the Democratic side. Let's not forget that he bragged about working with Strom Thurmond, who was a deeply racist Republican who ran for president under the segregationist ticket. And so Biden's got to stop bragging about how much he likes racists. And I know that that's his calling card. He says, well, I love to work with the other side. But he was also opposed to busing. He also did the 1994 crime bill, and he's proud to have authored that with Strom Thurmond originally in 91. So these are pretty disastrous if you're going for a Democratic or a general election.
Are you being fair to him in context, Cenk? I'm listening to you, and I get the points if we accept your context. He didn't say he loved racists. He said that he remembered being able to work with those guys, even though he didn't agree with what was going on. And it was a statement about how now nobody can work with anybody. And busing, you've heard his answer on that about what it was a different time about and what he was trying to achieve. And the 94 bill, that was assault weapons. That was protecting women. And it was a time of fear. And there were a lot of people on both sides of the aisle calling for that, black and white, by the way, within the Democratic Party.
Yeah, Chris, so let's clarify a couple of things. So some people who voted for the 94 crime bill now say they deeply regret it. Joe Biden is not among them. He still says he is proud that he helped to author that. So busing, he says he still has the same exact opinion. So it's very important that he did not change on those issues. And I definitely did not say that he loves racists. I said he loves working with people on the opposite side, including racists. And that's just a fact, because that's what he said. And then what I'm also worried about is that he likes working with Republicans. So I don't want him working with Mitch McConnell to get more tax cuts for the rich. He just was in a room full of rich donors and promised them, don't worry, nothing's going to change, and I'm going to protect you. I don't want him working with Mitch McConnell to protect the richest people in America. I'm more worried about that than what he did 30, 40 years ago.
All right, I hear you. I hear the arguments. Now, Kayla, you may be wondering, why am I here?